What's going on? What's going on, man? Happy Black Friday to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get this thing started. Wanted to get on here at 12 o'clock, man. Let you guys know what we got going on. Of course, you guys are used to seeing me at 5 o'clock and not in the middle of the day, unless I got something I need to say. But, man, coming to you guys, I have a special guest coming in shortly. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to come in, see what we had going on, say what's up. I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Hopefully your wives and girlfriends didn't have you out too early shopping. Nowadays everything online, so you ain't even got to leave the house. So with that being said, man, y'all be patient with me, and we're going to get this show started shortly. So y'all come on in. I have a special guest coming in. Yo.
Yo, Rusty called me. He's gonna. I sent him that link. He told me for us to send him a text message whenever we're ready.
Yeah, I'm up now.
Can we do that, or how does that work?
Yeah, whenever he's ready.
Okay, and then do I share that link? Like, do I make a post now, guys? Click this link. We're going live in 5 minutes or something.
No, the link just for you.
Okay.
You just share the like I'm live now. You can just go share the live.
Okay, so I go to your page and share the live.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a quick pee, and then I'm gonna call you right back.
All right.
All right, buddy.
All right, y'all. Sorry about that. We just, like I said, trying to get some things going on. Y'all be patient. You know how it is, man. He live when folk go live, man. If they ain't ready, you know what I'm saying? It kind of throw them off a little bit. Let's see. We gonna share all that. What's going on, Trina? What's up, Ron? Yeah, y'all be patient, man. We got some guests coming in here shortly, man. Like I said, I know y'all ain't used to me talking in the daytime, man, but again, you know what I'm saying? New product, man. Like I said, they got Black Friday sales going on, man. It's going down. I hadn't really talked to this dude on live in a couple of years. You know what I mean? So just want to kind of give everybody the opportunity to come in, sit down, get yourself comfortable, man. Make sure you got yourself something to drink. You know what I'm saying? If you're off work, man, grab your favorite drink, grab your favorite smoke, come sit down, have a sit down with us, man. We're gonna chill out and have some fun today. You know what I'm saying? Very informative. You know what I mean? Shit gonna be popping off. You know what I'm saying? Let me wet my whistle. Y'all know how it is when you're talking and shit, man. Your mouth get all dry. But yeah, in the meantime, man, yeah, I'm building Megalodon 2.0, man. Decided to go with some bigger bags. I wanted to do a dual 10 for the upcoming year. You know what I'm saying? Like even getting into maybe even getting into a little competition this year. You know what I'm saying? Competing this year. Not just some parking lot shit. You know what I'm saying? But I still wanted the bike functional, and also to be, just to be kind of a standout. You know what I mean? Them wide hips, man, and as y'all can see the bike in the background, man, it's a middleweight, bro. This thing is stupid, crazy loud, and you know what I'm saying. But I want to be a little bit more visible. Like I say, man, I build my bikes for the people that I grew up around, the people that don't get a chance to really see this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a small percentage of people that even ride around with the big wheels, the big bags, and things like that. You'll get the one or two out this way that'll spend that little extra money. But again, you know what I'm saying? People, you know what I'm saying, in the smaller towns and little hoods and stuff, man, they don't get a chance to see this type of shit. So anytime I get the opportunity to share, you know what I'm saying, that or pull up to, you know what I'm saying, I'm on the motorcycle set, so anytime I pull up, man, it's a party outside. What's up, Draft? What's going on? What's up, Shalandra? So, you know what I'm saying? Anytime I get the opportunity to bring the big bike out, man, so we can have some fun in the parking lot, that's what I'm going to do. Also, if you guys didn't know, KT from Country Boys in Tyler, man, he's putting on a sound competition tomorrow in Tyler from 12 to 5. So if you're in the Tyler area, you want to pull up, man, play some music, man, come on out, and we're going to have a good time. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me get this line. Yes, sir.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I'm ready when you are.
Just click the link.
Oh, so now I don't call you. I just click the link.
Just click the link.
Okay.
You're going to come right on in.
All right. All right.
All right.
Is it on?
Now you got to get out the phone and just click the link and you're going to come in. Boom.
Are we
Without
on?
further ado, we on.
We on. All
We
right,
on.
man. We on.
So without further ado, man, for you guys that don't know, man, this is Kody McNew, owner of Voodoo Bikeworks out in Scottsdale, Arizona. And man, one of the guys that's been a pivotal point in the audio industry over the last what 6 7 years now, Kody.
Shoot, man, we're going on 10 years, man. It's
Well, they
crazy.
just go to show. I've only been around for about six open, but I've been an enthusiast for a long time, man. So
Well, the reason why I decided I wanted to do this, Derek, is because there's a few things here. I want to touch all different angles of what's going on in the motorcycle audio today. And what I want to do is I want to make sure people understand how it started, where we're at today, and where it's going. And we're going to have some guests on here that's going to be pretty amazing here. We're going to talk about all different angles of where this is at. And we're also going to talk about where it's going, right? It's like I remember, man, when I first started this stuff, it was 2009, right? I think I made the first production 8-inch lid. Everybody's like, man, this is crazy, man. We're not putting music on bikes, man. You guys are nuts. I said, hold
right,
tight, hold tight. Fast forward to where we're at today, we have full blown enclosures, right? I mean, there's bikes out there with who knows how much power. I mean,
yes,
it's a passion to come together about motorcycle audio, right? And so today, I've watched this stuff grow radically. If that's the word for it, I don't even know, man. This stuff just went to the moon, and I'm excited for it, right? Like, I mean, there's so much of this that I'd love for people to see how it's grown and what it's done. I mean, it's brought people together. I mean, it's brought a culture together of the love of music, right?
yes,
And a lot of people don't know about me is that I have a music background since I was 5.
right,
I've been behind a drum set since I could hold the sticks damn near, right?
right,
And so I've understood music. I just try to bring it in every area of my life that I can, and this happened to be turned into a niche that I got to do it, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. I got to meet great people, man. We got great people. I mean, uh, there's a lot of greatness of this that I'm excited for.
right,
But there's some stuff that we also have to look at it because we bring in the elephant in the room, right? Everybody wants to be a part of it. Now we're bringing money involved, right? Because this
right,
is not cheap.
right.
The days of building the days of building a lightweight bike for $4,500 don't exist.
Yeah, it's
I
hard.
mean, well, I mean, competitive. I mean,
Yes,
competitive lightweight bikes now are $20,000. I mean, a featherweight bike is 15 grand,
right.
right? And before, we were just making it work. Now we're proving it.
Yes,
So now it's proven enclosures. We've got all different options of directions on where you want to go with it, and we've built classes as the years have gone on of how this goes, right? And so, there's brackets, right? The brackets that come involved is just like drag racing. You've got different brackets for whatever your car fits in at. Well, the same thing with the audio, and the brackets have always had rules. And us manufacturers have always, I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, but I've done my damnedest to keep the playing field fair for anybody that wants to get involved.
right,
What you do inside a bag, man, I'm excited for you. Do it. Get creative. But if a rule stands as a rule stands, we've always followed it. That way, anybody can pull up to any show that's out there and get some action.
Right.
Because let's face it, guys. I mean, yeah, you can win a couple dollars here and there, but you're doing this because you're passionate about it and you want to go have fun. I
Right.
mean, really, like you want to vibe with the people. You want to put music on a motorcycle. You want to get out in it and have fun, right? Well, this thing has gotten to the point to where we're changing, evolving, not yearly now. Now it's like every 6 months somebody
Yeah.
wants to change something, right? And we're now it's been speaker count, and then it's okay, we work through that, then it's okay, the bag stuff, then we work through that, then it's tour pack stuff, okay, we work through that, then it's lowers, then we work through that. Well, we've worked through all these and getting everything smooth sailing, and then it's like all of a sudden we're looking at a situation here that goes, we got one measurement on the back of a bag, run what you brung.
Right.
There's some platforms that are saying a speaker's a speaker, make it work. We just
Right.
want to see a measurement at the back of a bag. Or, I mean, I've seen that Sound Wars has got a pretty cool thing. I mean, some people are liking it. I've seen feedback on it. Some people are liking it. Some people aren't liking it. It doesn't make sense. But they got a jig that they touch the back of the bags, I guess. I mean, I haven't personally seen one, but I've talked to Brock. Whoever created it, great kudos to you. I don't care who did it, whose idea it was.
Right.
If that's what we're standing on, that's fine. Now, I've always in my goal with this business, and I fought for it,
Ho-
man. I'm gonna tell you right now. You can
ho-
ask the other manufacturers out there. I drug my feet on a big bag.
Hold on,
I
Kody.
like to ride.
Kody, let me pause you for a second, man. We got
Uh,
another guest want to come on in, man.
yeah, come on.
And some of you guys are familiar with this guy. Some of you not. It's my first time actually getting a chance to speak with him. Hey, Rusty from DC Audio. Welcome to the show, man.
What's up, man? How's it going?
It's going great.
Good.
Hey, man. Glad you could join us this morning.
Yeah, you know.
So for everybody that don't know, man, Rusty is the owner, right, of DC Audio.
I am. I
And
am.
and
I started DC.
we lost him.
Did we lose him?
Okay,
Oh
there we
man,
go.
I don't know.
Okay, we're back.
But yeah, man. Yeah, I started DC Audio back in 2006, and that's been my gig ever since.
Oh yeah, man. But Rusty puts out some of the top speakers and amplifiers in the industry right now. Guys have been
Thank you.
running his subs and amplifiers for some years now, and I think you go back way before motorcycle audio, right? You're in the car audio game and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm an older guy, so I've got trophies, man. Back, I asked up to 1996 is my oldest trophy.
Okay, okay,
And I started off as an installer, which I got answering a newspaper ad because that's how we got jobs back then, right?
yeah,
And so started off as an installer back then as well. Installed for years. Eventually opened my own store, sold it. Then I started manufacturing DC audio, but I've been a competitor since then. Multi-time DB drag world champion. I've built other people's cars from the ground up, got them world championships. So I've got, I've got a little bit of stuff I've done.
already. That's
So,
what's up.
so basically, what you're telling us is that yesterday wasn't your first day. Got it. I got it. It makes sense. Yeah, I got it.
Hey,
So,
hold on. I'm just gonna let y'all know,
Yeah.
man. I'm really out of my league in this conversation, man. I'm just excited to be on with you guys, man, and give you guys the opportunity to reach a new audience. You know, some people that are interested but don't know the ins and outs of what goes on, kind of like in this small little arena that we enjoy.
Sure.
well, and Rusty, the main reason I wanted to make sure that you got to come be a part of this is you understand and watched where this growed. I mean, really fast. I mean, from
Yeah.
when you first dropped a speaker in here to where we're at designing parts around your speakers. You know that I design every one of my enclosures to make sure that it works well with what you got going on. And now we're
Yeah.
at a crossroads here. We were getting ready to dive into it. I'm glad you got to join us here, but we're at a crossroads here of where the bag width is now being pushed, I guess. I don't know how to say it other than that, except for saying, hey guys, listen, we're going to measure one spot at the back of the bag, and now you can do whatever you want. Well, that opens the door for this down firing world, right? That I mean, there's been a couple
Yeah.
of guys that basically said I went and saw something at a show. No, I've been around downfiring my entire life. It's just never worked in our deck of cards. You can't bring that card to this poker game. We're not playing that card. Okay. Well, now that we're
Yeah.
playing that card, I just wanted you to give them a little a little insight on what that allows and the doors that it opens. A, in a positive way, and B, in an impactful way of what it creates being on the same playing field.
Okay, sure. So in my experience from downfire, it's going to create a lot of things. Positive things for me as a manufacturer. So one of the things that's been one of my biggest struggles with building stuff for the bike audio is, let's go with bag width, right? So guys hit me up, yeah. Hey man, I got 6 inches. What can we do? And I'm like,
Ask you- let me ask my wife what 6 inches
on
to
that
do.
one. so, so anyways, I gotta figure out how to work with 6 inches, right? So
I've been doing it all my life, man.
me too, dog. Me too. So with the downfire, it gives me all the room from the bottom of the bag up. I go as deep as I want, right? So it's gonna open that up. I would imagine, and from the bag standpoint of view, you can fill in all those inside holes now. So you're gonna get some extra room there. Um, let's see. Also, the deal with downfire. So if you look at like home theater, right? Let's talk about home theater for just a second. If you go look at most of your home theater stuff, it's either going to be a downfire enclosure, or if it is side fire, it's designed to be fired into the wall or into your, I don't know, home theater system. It's designed to be loaded into something.
Yes.
And that's because in open air environments, you just can't take a subwoofer box and throw it in the middle of a room and be like, hey, check it out, I got bass, because it won't work. It'll suck. Bass wants to have a reflective surface. So going back to installation days, say somebody comes in with a Jeep and they're like, man, I want some bass, but I pull the top off all the time. I'm going to build them a downfire enclosure. That way, that base has a reflective surface all the time. So, something that can be a problem, and it's not necessarily always a problem with the bike world, is you got two subs firing at each other, and you can run into phase cancellation. They're going to be reflecting off of random things, different parts of your
It,
air ride system, the wheels. Both you got all these reflective surfaces that bounces the waves off in different directions, which can cause phase cancellation issues. When you have a downfire and everything's firing in the same direction off the same planes, you can get rid of a lot of that phase cancellation problems. And that ground, because it's a flat surface, you can use that as a loading wall. You'll
yes.
find in a downfire application with your air ride, you'll start airing it up and airing it down and getting different results because you're able to manipulate the loading wall off of your downfire enclosure. So there's a lot of positives to being able to do something like this. The negative would be, I think, what's been the holdup is, you go to put a 12 in a downfire, you're not making no left or right hand turns on that bike no more. You know that.
Hell no. Hell no. You gotta have a forklift just to get it on and off the trailer.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna be dragging bags everywhere, man. So, I can only see that as being, the disadvantage is what's going to be the width of it. But that's something Kody, I'm sure, would want to touch in on.
But so where I'm at with that is this: if you got to make a choice, right? Are you going to downfire or are you going to fire towards the wheel? We're going to start there.
Uh,
And with that,
I would downfire. That would be if I could do either one, I would. My mind would go to downfire.
okay, right. And so, like I said before, we've never been able to till now. There's a big discussion that's up in the air, and I'm waiting for answers. I know there's a couple shows that have just said "run what you brung," and I hope that works for them. But like we were talking before you got on here, I mean, you even understand the bracketry stuff, even like from the IASCA world. It's like there's classes, right, and you had to follow those type of rules. Well, this
Yeah.
has never been on the table because what's getting ready to happen is the back of the bag, right, is 14 or I'm sorry, is 9 1/4. But you're talking about going out to 14 inches, an inch and a half, 2 inches forward, getting whatever you want to stay in a 9 1/4 down. I mean, you're talking about building let's use a featherweight for an example, right? It's a 6 speaker bike that's got a lot, you can get 6 speakers. But if I was to say, hey man, give me the gnarliest 10 that you can build me, and we put a 12K on 2 10s or something ridiculous, I don't know, but it's got the right loading, it's got the right port work, we've got all the port area, you got everything in a perfect world to downfire. That thing is going to have middleweight base, and it's going
It
to be
should.
accurate. And
Yeah.
so we're opening a door to the rest of the guys out there that have competed, that I guess I'm not going to say it without saying it, but it may send everybody back to the drawing board if you're a competitor.
So
It
let me
may.
ask you this. So what about, so let's say if we're speaking in reference to how wide the bag is, if you
Okay.
do a downfire, it has to have a maximum of an 8-inch sub, because you can generate the same type of energy with 2 or 3/8 firing down and still keep that width, right in the 10, 10 and a half, 11 range. So if you
Depending
do a
on your
downfire,
class.
right?
Yeah.
Well, at that point, if you have a downfire, you're forced to be in a larger class with a smaller sub because of the advantage that you have with having Rusty build you an 11-inch
Right.
mounting depth 8-inch speaker.
Right. Well, and now he can speak upon that. But for an example, let's go lightweight, right? You have an option of running a single 10 or dual 8. Rusty's going to choose two massive dual 8s downfiring because it's going to have, I don't know about double, but a significant amount of volume in comparison, because now you're in the perfect world of a downfire enclosure.
Right, but it forces you to be in a higher class as opposed to a middleweight or lightweight, or you know what I mean? It forces
Right.
you to be in a higher class because of the style of bag that you have. So as opposed to saying, no, you can't have a downfiring bag, how about here are the qualifications for the downfiring bag in
Right.
order to stay within the parameters?
I agree with you, and I feel like that needs to be talked about. But where I'm going with this is, if you let's use my bags. I'm not going to
All
point
right.
out anybody else. I'm
Right,
going to use
right,
mine,
right.
right? At the back of the bag, if you look down the bag, you're talking about within an eighth of an inch, and that could be primer, could be whatever. I don't care. I'll give it to you. The back's wider. Depending on when you can't measure the side cover off the frame, you got to measure bag to bag. The back is wider.
Right,
Okay.
right,
I've never, like I said, tried to do any of this because I've followed an instruction.
right.
If the instructions are changing now, you're creating more airspace. You're creating mounting depth for whatever you want now. And in that entry level class, I'm going to give you an example. I pull up on a bike. You're new to the game, right? You got your set of game changers, man. You got your nice DC level 4. I don't know. You got a good bike, right? You
Right.
got a DC level 410. Got the AK, called Rusty, called whoever, sounded whatever. And you got it, right? And I come in there with a down firing Monster 10 Neo driver, right? With a 12K, and just mop the floor. Now, what do we look at the advantages of? The only thing that changed was the bag width to allow this to move on. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
But I mean, but isn't that the whole point of the game, is to you have multiple manufacturers. Rust is not the
Sure.
only company that builds speakers, right?
Right.
Yep.
So he's not going to say, well, Russ is going to speak like, hey man, my 10 is going to do exactly what you need it to do. But if you give me
Yeah.
the opportunity to give
Yeah.
me more airspace, I'm going to build you something that will make your eyelashes shiver on a
Yeah.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
So it's the point of taking advantage where you can.
Sure. Yeah.
So if you were the only bag manufacturer, right, then
Yep.
you could basically set the standard. But because you're not, now you're going to ask these other shops to retool also.
Sure.
But if they're not willing to, then you're going to have the advantage anyway. Your bags have always been the widest in the industry, bro.
Yep.
If you, I compare your bags to looking at a fine ass woman, bro. I, 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 ain't- I mean, you can say what you want to say, and I'm not just saying this because you on here, bro. But your bags are fine. They sexy, bro. It's like a woman with a Coke bottle shape. The
Right.
cool thing about the product is that it's been winning for so long. At
Right.
some point, when do you make a change? Well, you have. You've done the infinities. You've done
Yeah.
the magnums, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We got magnums, affinities, the wraith. I mean, I
Yeah.
got I got something for everybody.
So and now I own a pair of your bags for your the stock CVO bags that are proven. I mean, anytime I pull up with this bike with a single amplifier, the bass coming out. Now, Rusty, I apologize. I don't have no DCs, man.
You're good, man. You're good. Hit me up later, dog. I got you.
already,
Hey, we
already.
gonna get in there though.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying.
hey,
So, hey, although I'm old school, I'm new to the game, baby. You know what I'm saying.
hey,
But I'm in the game now.
hey,
But
hey, hey. But real quick though, tell Rusty you did come to the shop and you heard what a set of level threes do in
hey,
that
look,
bike though.
Rusty, the man say, look, you're not gonna believe this shit. I caught a private plane to this man's shop, dropped me off right on the street. Walked
Yeah.
out the plane, heard the bike, picked up a set of bags,
And checked
hopped
them.
back on the plane, and came my ass back to Texas. And hey, look, and it's been crazy, bro. The amount of sound coming out of a stock CVO bag that Kody has produced, and again, that's
Yep.
not to shame any other manufacturer. I've just heard those bags are proven, and I mean 600 watts of power. That's it. And this man, this thing sounds like a damn train.
Hammering.
It's hammering. Again, I don't have any DC subs in it, but just know,
There.
just know that
Right.
I believe that if we can come to some type of agreement with whatever the industry is offering and saying
Sure.
this is the new shit. At some
Right.
point, we as the consumer has
Right.
to make a decision that we want the latest and the greatest. We want the upgrades. If we're gonna spend $20,000 to $30,000 a year to compete, just to say I got the biggest 6-inch speaker,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Then I think that the industry has to change with the level of competition that comes in. And I seen here recently that Kevin Murphy said he's retired. What more can he do? So even though that guy went out on top, who's going to be the next person to come up? Who's going to be
Right.
the next? Where's the next innovation going to come from? And it's got to come from, hey, I'm a manufacturer. I got these. At some point, either the shows have to relate to what the customer wants, or we're gonna keep building new shows every year.
Right.
A new show is gonna resurface. Oh, well, those I'm gonna allow you to play those bags in my show.
Right.
But not only that, but I'm not just gonna give you a trophy. I'm gonna have the opportunity because you're spending money. We're gonna give you the opportunity to win money, and I think that's what's missing in a lot of these sound competitions.
Yeah.
I agree.
Cash prizes.
I agree.
And I
But I
think
guess
you're right about
so.
how do we. Go ahead, Kody.
So real quick though, what I want to touch on with this whole thing is I'm all for evolving. I've evolved. I mean, last year, let's go for an example. A bike showed up with 66-inch long bags in the heavyweight. 6 weeks later, I had a 66-inch long Magnum. Okay. I want everybody to always have a fair playing field. Okay. And so if a bike shows up and plays that is not was not again gray area, not gray area, a
Right.
12 and 3/8 wide bag in the middle in a 10.5-inch wide class.
Right.
You can say what you want to say about something, but a 10-inch speaker will not downfire in a 10.5-inch wide bag. Won't do it. The basket's over that. Here nor there, if they found a gray area, great. I've never played in the gray area because when I win, I want to win like I did it on purpose.
Right.
Okay. And I want when my guys win, they don't have to think did we play in a gray area or did we win how we're supposed to win. Okay. I'm cool with however we do this, but where I'm looking at it as, do you think that us? And I guess to me, I look at it as Yes, it's a way to not have to deal with it anymore. I get it. Okay, you measure one spot of the bag, you guys run what you brung, and you don't have to deal with it anymore. I get it. But what it also puts out there is the guys that just spent money to compete. They're if it's done correctly, which I mean, you heard from a speaker manufacturer himself that he agrees. He if he was building a bike today, he's going to choose a downfire if he's got the option.
Right. But
Okay.
again, we get into the not to interrupt you,
No,
Kody,
no,
and I'll
you're
let you
good.
finish. But not to
Yeah.
interrupt you, but he could take that
Good.
again. Now we getting back into the smaller speaker, being able to load. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
At a point where the speaker enjoys where it's
Sure.
playing. So with Rusty being concerned about, okay, look, I'm selling a lot of speakers,
Yep.
but I'm having to continue to retool because these guys are consistently changing the rules.
Right.
So we went from a sub is a sub, a mid bass is now a speaker's a speaker. So where Rusty went and retooled to find this mid bass that would play a lower frequency, now
Right.
it takes the guesswork from him and say, okay, you know what, Rusty? A speaker's a speaker, man. Build what you want to build. That's going to be easier for you as a manufacturer.
Right.
Now we get into Kody building a bag, and Kody and Rusty getting together and say, hey, look, we're going to
Right.
build a combination that when you put this bag with this speaker, ain't no way in hell you're going to play below a specific you're not going to be able to beat, playing a specific frequency. Because what do we want as bass heads? We want that
Yeah.
low frequency. Who doesn't want to pull up and play 40 hertz, 40 to 48 hertz, and
Paul.
strong?
Yeah.
Rusty can do that. Kody can do that. But
Yeah.
it has to be based off of a generalized rule across the board.
Right.
So how do we correct that? How do we adjust, the manufacturer, the customer, and the builder so that everybody's happy?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a good question.
I mean, the whole purpose of this is we've always tooled, we've always built because we weren't allowed to have. I mean, I'll say it. I don't care. We weren't allowed to have bags that wide ever. The down firing has never been on the chopping block because of the width of the bags.
Right.
Okay, we've watched all kinds of stuff happen over the last year. You can't retool. I retool this guy. I mean, where I'm at with it is you got a lot of guys out there, and I appreciate everyone that supported us, and sure everybody in this game appreciates supporting because without everyone, you don't have it. Okay, this is a really small niche, right? Even though it looks motorcycle, it looks really big. It's not that big.
No.
Okay, in the big scheme of things, right?
No.
And so if we all don't come together and look at this and go, okay, what is going to be the standard? I don't even want to use that word because it's been played with, but what is the standard so these people feel that they've got a chance to come enjoy themselves and continue helping grow the motorcycle audio, or do we care? That's the truth of the matter.
But we
Do we build
do.
what we want?
You know
I
why
think
we
we
care?
do.
Because we keep spending money on this shit. Rusty, hey,
Right.
Rusty got blinds on his windows. He ain't sitting in the shack.
No.
So, I don't know. Look, bro. Hey man, I'm in a room with a green screen. So
Yeah.
we're consistently spending money. So yes, the thing that I would like to add in this situation, and I know Rusty was trying to make a point a while ago,
Sure.
but the thing that I would like to add is that we are the industry.
Yeah.
We can decide which way we want to go, right?
Yeah.
The same way that these shows were built and people followed the show, when you have people that say, you know what, we're going to bag up from the show and we're going to create our own lane because the lane has already been created for us. And
Right.
and this is not a mark on anybody's show, right?
No.
Because
Right.
I am not an avid competitor. This year, whether it's for 25, I'm going to be a little bit more active because I enjoy it. And now I've had the chance to kind of sit back and now I can nitpick and I can say, okay, well,
Sure.
I want to do this, and that. And
Right.
with that, Rush, I'll turn it over to you because I know you was trying to make a point a while ago, man, and we just kind of talked right over you.
what was the point I was gonna make?
Well, from a manufacturer
I sit in
standpoint, from speakers.
a room full of blue fumes, 8 to 12 hours a day, bro. You could think back 10 minutes ago what was on my mind.
Hey, Russ, don't worry about it. I had some white fumes around me last night, so we good.
No, it probably had something to do with how, as the manufacturers, whether it's the speaker manufacturer, the bag manufacturer, the competitors, we all need to figure out a way to, make things happen that's fair for everybody, and if you do downfire, right, and it is super successful, then how does that affect everybody that's already out and spent all that money?
Well, again, now you have a different class. Maybe it's a different class that you have to invent.
Hey, that's a great idea. Maybe downfire is its own thing.
And may the best man win at that point. Because now you're talking about, these. Now you're talking about as opposed to having a 4-speaker. And in my opinion, bro, if you got 4 speakers, you need to be playing on a Friday night. That is a 4-speaker is not for the world to see, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you putting out, hey, look, man, I got this little 4-speaker in the back. I just want to generate some income. Man, come on, man. Lead the shows for the big guys. And it's almost like a junior varsity game that played on Friday nights, and senior games are played on Saturday. So if you want to play on Saturday, then you get your weight up. You spend that money to play on Saturday. But you're putting everybody kind of like in the same basket. Like, oh, hey, look, you got this, but, hey, we're going to let you play with the big guys. No, ain't no such thing as participation trophies. We're not giving away participation trophies anymore. You ain't spending enough money, bro. You don't get to play with us. Now, You do have a class. Friday night, there's your 2 and your 4 and your and need I 6-speaker, with specialty.
Tough 6 speakers.
I mean, I get it. I get it. But what I'm saying is, if it's a 6-speaker stock class, I got 4 6x9s and 2 6.5s up front. I'm not playing in the ring with a regular 6-speaker bike.
Okay, I got you.
You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
What I'm saying is, if your show is a 3-day show or 2-day show, if it's a Friday and a Saturday, you run your smaller bikes on Friday. Let them get the opportunity to get their feet wet. Saturday is specifically for the big guys.
Right.
Those are your 40 hertz guys. You know what I'm saying? And as you go bigger or smaller, you keeping the classes small because you got 100 people watching 4 speakers play. And let's say you got 6 bikes in that class. That's an hour gone listening to bikes that you could really care less about. Let's just be real. Do you care to hear a 4-speaker class bike?
No, I get it.
No,
let's go back and touch that. So, do you think that there should just be a downfiring class?
I do.
Because that way it allows the guys that have already spent the money out there, the guys that have worked hard to get where they're at. Like, for an example, I'll use him. He's a good buddy of mine. He ain't going to give a shit. Scott Winstead's worked his ass off to get to where he's at. That bike's incredible, right?
Right.
But what happens if we bring that bag out with a downfire tin and we do some testing on it and we go, Scott, man, listen, dude, this has got some crazy output. Rusty's done some stuff on it. What's he going to do?
He's going to buy those new bags.
That bike, he got it to where they're just, you go tear it apart again. Right?
And guess what? Scott will do it because the ultimate goal is to be a winner. Now, if you done created a class, which they've already created every class, bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, welterweight. Those classes were invented.
Sure.
So why not another class? If you're going to remove the 4-speaker, we lost Rusty. But if we're going to remove the 4-speaker, and this is all just us talking, if we're going to remove the 4-speaker, why not create a class for the smaller bikes? Hey, Rusty, I was told that you needed to sell a speaker to pay for your internet. That was the running joke earlier. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Hey, no, it's all good, man. I live kind of far away. Maybe I need to get on that star.
See what I'm saying? Hey, you know what, Rusty, man? I'm gonna send you a satellite. You gonna have your own satellite, bro.
There we go.
but so where I'm going with this is do you allow a whole new class, or do you just throw your hands up and say, fuck it, 9 1/4 in the back, you guys do whatever you want?
Right.
To the guys that have, I mean, what do you do with this? The more like what do we do with this?
Oh,
I'll make anything.
oh,
Rusty obviously will make a speaker for a 6 inch bag, or he'll make me a speaker for 11 inch bag. But what do
Yeah.
we do with the situation that we're up against? Because we have one bike that comes in that's wider than anybody else's bike, which has been too. It doesn't matter to me. Like we
right,
talked about, gray or not gray,
right,
we've all followed the rules.
right.
We got one bike that comes in and changes the game. Do we change the whole game for one bike, or
But
do we evolve and build a class for a
let's
downfire?
let's look at it like this. Let's look at it like this, Kody.
Right.
Technology changes every day. I bought a pair of Ray-Bans with the meta shit in them, and I'd be damned if 3 months later they didn't have another pair. So how long do we keep these classes the same, right? If guys are spending money every year to upgrade and to be the best that they can be, then
Right.
what's the point of us not changing when it comes to the specific categories? If you got a guy that came out and the amount of bass that was so fucking crazy because it was downfiring, hey, that's new, that's interesting, I want it. Tesla came out with a car that took batteries. Guess what? Everybody wanted it. They didn't think about the goddamn Prius that came out before it. They didn't want the Prius. They want that goddamn Tesla.
Because there wasn't a Prius flag.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
if you build it, they want it. I don't give a damn what it is, bro. People will find the money to spend on it just because they want the new, the latest and the greatest. I don't know how many times you guys have went out, bought a car, and 2 years later you wanted to upgrade. All because these motherfuckers put a heated cup holder. So now you can drink your coffee all day long. No,
Right.
man.
Right.
All I'm saying, bro, they create stupid shit for us to buy every day.
Right.
Why not create a platform that exposes that, just like my boy, blowing money fast.
Yeah.
That's all we do. My boy Zane, fucking Southern Cycles,
Yeah.
built with fuck you money.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is not a cheap sport. So
No.
guess what? If you create a platform that
Yeah.
that offers that, man, those guys won't lose any sleep in the heavyweight class. They're not going to lose any sleep in the middleweight class because the downfiring class is a class of its own. Now you're in between the heavyweight and the extreme. You know,
Right.
you got just enough base to be extreme, but you got just as much rideability to be a heavyweight.
Right. See, I could agree with that. That one works. But if we're looking at the 9 1/4, we're talking about building a featherweight that's going to have damn near today's middleweight base if it's done correctly.
Well,
What do you do with that? Because we're going back to, I'll change that even more. So if you're telling me at 9 1/4 we can, and I'm going off of what's out there. I know Sound Wars stated they're going to do it. Brock told me, he said he's going to do it. He's got his little thing, 9 1/4. Well, what if we don't downfire? But I take 14 inches and take the bag out to where I can put whatever sub I want in it and whatever port area I want in it and go back to that same class that the guy that followed the rules 30 days ago doesn't have a fucking chance.
well, I mean, but then Kody, you still got to look at. I mean, we got Rusty over here that's just hanging in the wind. How does Rusty sell speakers?
Right.
You create a box. You create the airspace for him to create and him to be the genius that he is.
Yeah.
Everything is about what you guys have to offer for us. If you guys build it, we want to pay for it, regardless.
Perfect. Yeah.
So
I like that attitude.
you know what I mean? So if Kody, if you building and Baby Legs is on here because he generated this whole hoopla out here, he got the whole fucking internet talking. Because of what he did in his garage and his, you know what I mean, in his shop. So if Baby Legs has created an avenue for you to create revenue, for Russia to get revenue, then why not? if Baby Legs, and this is not to say anything against you, Kody, because I've talked to you. I've seen the shit that you got in your shop, and I seen that design before the design was designed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Baby Legs has created a platform. So if what he created allows you guys to generate money, and these shows are saying, "Oh, we're not going to allow them at our show," then guess what? I see Voodoo Bikeworks, KB Customs, DC Audio creating this whole platform just so that you guys can be in a position to generate income based off of the product that you're going to offer to the customer, that they're going to be able to walk into a parking lot. They're going to be able to walk into whatever it is and say, "I got a 6-inch speaker. Beat it."
Right.
That's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to create the smaller bags, get the bigger sound. Now you guys are saying, "Hey, look, we're chasing bass. We're not going to get bass out of a 10 by 10. We need at least a 15 by 20.
Right.
We were running 6 by 9s, bro, 10 years ago. 6 by 9s. Oh, you put a 8 in your bag. Goddamn, how did you do that? Now I can say, "Hey, Rusty, man, I got this bag, man. This motherfucker's stupid. I'm finna go to the East Coast and beat these dudes up. I need a sub that's this, and this." And then he was like, "Oh, okay, so what are the dimensions?" I said, "I don't really know the dimensions, but you can call Kody because he built it for me. And he can give you the dimensions, and I need to be able to knock the bolts out of the engine."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what we're going to. There's not enough input from the people that's buying this shit. There's always influence from the people that are generating that I'm smarter than you because I know how to work. I know how to work without working. And that's who we're taking our advice from. And I'm not chucking rocks and hiding my hands. You can see my face.
Right. I get it. But I get it. So I guess where I'm at with it is like, okay, we find a gray area, right?
Yeah.
We find a gray area. Do we create a class for it? Or do we say that's the new, you guys tool or don't tool, they're allowed?
Well, at the point that we're at, Kody, I mean, we're generating our own movement anyway. We're talking about a small percentage. So let's just say it's 3% in this game that we in. Yeah. If 1.5% decides to go a different direction, guess what? It's more money being generated.
Right.
Who gives a?
I guess I look at it I see your side. It makes a lot of sense. Like, listen, if it's there and we can do it, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I look at it. I guess there's a side of me that sleeps at night going, "Damn, dude, these guys just bought these parts, following the rules. We got one that bends the rules, right? He bends the rules. He gets away with it. Now we're gonna do it. Shit. Okay, well, sorry guys, I ain't trying to get in your money." But if this is going on, I'm making parts for it. I've been waiting for a downfire bag to be allowed for 10 years.
Hey, guess what? If it's not allowed in one show, you talk to another show. "Hey, look, I got this coming out. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, no, we're not going to allow that." You talk to another show. "You know what? We're going to allow that in our show," right? So now you tell that guy, "Hey, look, man, this competition is going to allow it, but their shows are Midwest, down south, and up north. So if you're going to travel, somebody in Florida may not want to do that. But you got guys in the Midwest. You got guys up north. You got guys down south that will purchase that." The thing, so we keep trying to sell these parts to this small percentage of people. We're not even looking at the people that has the potential to get into this. I waited 6 years, bro, to start competing. And I got a bag you just released last year.
Yeah.
So guess what? In 2 years, my bag is going to be obsolete. Or is it going to be obsolete next year? Who knows? But I don't care about that. Because if I want to change, I'll sell those and I'll go to a different direction. I got a customer that bought your Wraith bags.
Yeah.
Fuck that. He wants the single 10 with the dual 8s.
Yeah.
So let's get out of the small percentage and look at the large. Rusty can't make money selling one speaker to the same guy because he keep blowing this motherfucker. Rusty tired of selling rebuild kits. Rusty want to sell fucking speakers. How do you sell speakers? You build shit so Rusty can sell his fucking speakers.
Yeah, Kody build some shit so I can sell some speakers.
God damn.
My internet.
I get it. I
I'm
get it,
trying to
man.
get off this
Listen,
dial up out here.
Yeah, god damn. He want to come back to civilization. The man seen an alien cross his yard yesterday. Shit. He's out there. He was out next to the what they call that, not the wall in Mexico, but that other wall.
oh yeah.
God damn, man. but I'm saying all that to say this.
Right.
There's so much, we have so much action at what's being offered to us, the small percentage. But there's so many more people that may want to delve into that. How many people that you know just got cars sitting in their garage that they done spend $100,000 on that they only pull out on a Saturday or Sunday?
Sure.
Those are your customers.
Right.
Those are our customers.
Yeah.
I don't have the desire to build one of them big ass bikes because for me, I like the in and out. You know what I mean? I don't have. I'm not. Yeah, but and that's why I say even with these 4 to 6 speaker classes, we're not throwing them in the trash. We're saying Friday is your night. You're the JV. You're going to get the crowd running for us. You're going to get everybody excited to hear the big bikes tomorrow. Right. Because what do we want to do? We want to hear those big bikes. We want to know that Rusty can actually build a fucking speaker that can last through 14 songs. Yeah. We want to know that Kody done built some bags that ain't going to rattle when we put Rusty's speaker in it.
Yeah.
Let's not... The conversations that we're having now is the conversations we need to be having across the board because we are the ones spending the money. We should be making the decisions.
Right.
But no, we're not. We're allowing ourselves to be, did I say, victimized by the small percentage. You know what I mean? Look, I wasn't at a lot of these shows this year. But all I hear is when you look at the pictures of the show, everybody's having fun. The music is going. But as soon as the show over, that motherfucker son of a, I can't stay. I'm ready to. Rusty, did your phone ring a lot after these shows?
Yeah.
And he ain't even got service, y'all. Rusty phone ring, he ain't even got service. So how y'all should be ashamed of yourself bothering this man. You know what I'm saying? Leave him in this room with his blue smoke, okay? Shit. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and do y'all thing. I done said enough. Let me drink some water.
Right. Well, I guess where I'm at with it, and your point is very valid. Like, you know what I mean? If it's evolving, let's all evolve.
Yes.
Let's all. That's what I said. Evolve, right? So it's cool if they do it. It's a problem if I do it. Don't work no more.
Right.
Okay, I mean, I'm cool with whichever way you want to move. Do I think that it could disrupt this smoothness that we've had a little bit throughout the years? That everybody's grooving, they got their parts working, other manufacturers got bags that are working, this other guy's got his bags that are going to it. You're going to disrupt a lot of people's money. But at the same size, like what you just said, nobody cared until the Tesla came. The other electric cars, nobody cared. So what do we do with it? As long as we get the platforms to get an agreement that we can or we can't for the people.
Right. I understand.
We just don't do it. Like, where do we look at this and go, is it a real gray area or is it a yes or a no? We got a left hand and we got a right hand. We don't. It's what are we doing, right? And so if we can get those answers for the people, and then what it goes down to is, do you want to compete or not?
All right, so let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, Kody.
What's that?
With that being said, are your parts for one particular show, or does your parts transcend every show? That's
so what I've done is this: I've always made sure that my parts can go to every show. Like it, love it, don't. It's not me. It's the part. My customer comes first. Rusty jumps out there and makes this woofer that does the best we can make it perform in 6 inches, right? And we get it on, right? But
Hey, I think Rusty. Rusty gonna use that 6-inch line. That's on
that's right.
That's Rusty's new line.
Hey, you ain't got some bitch. That's all I got to know. But where I'm going with this is, I've always made sure, as a businessman, I don't chop my own nose off. B, my customers can enjoy what we've created wherever they decide to go.
Right.
And so when we get a bike that comes in and finds a gray area and gets it uproared like this, and we haven't been able to get the answer that we're looking for, or way it may be, it's not a negative thing. We're just looking for a go.
Right.
Is it a go or not a go? We got one from one over here. We got another one from over here. I got some feedback from one of my customers says that they think that the other show platform is they're fine with it until it happens. Now, are we okay with what's going to happen? Because that's the area that I want to know. Are we putting a parameter on it, or is it 9 1/4, 10 1/2 in the back, and do whatever the fuck you want? Just know what comes with that.
All right.
Because I don't want to tool something, give these people, and then they say, "Oh man, you went too much." That don't work.
Okay.
We need the go.
All right.
Then I'm with it.
Okay, let me ask Rusty a question. Rusty, why did you start making speakers?
Oh man, I was hungry.
Okay, what was it about the? Okay, aside from that,
No,
what?
I'll give you a real answer, man. A real answer is, I love working with my hands. I'd done audio for so long, you know, I felt as though I had done everything I wanted to do out of the installation part of the game. I had owned my own store, you know, that ran its route. I'm like, okay, I've done this. I want to do something different. But I've always just loved building with my hands. And since audio was all of my background since, I don't know, I think I got that job in 1920. I'm 48 years old now. I just stuck with it, man. So that's why I started building speakers. I felt as though I could do it. I could do a good job at it. And it would be something that I'm passionate about, and hopefully I could pay my rent doing it. So
Right.
I jumped in.
So it wasn't that the other manufacturers wasn't producing product that was that was beneath you. You just wanted your own brand.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. There's a lot of those companies out there, you know what I mean, that do a phenomenal job, you know, and it wasn't like, I didn't go into it with a mentality of thinking I'm better than all of these guys. I can, you know, nothing like that. I wanted to do me.
Right.
So that's what I did.
And I can say the same thing with me opening up as opposed to going to be an apprentice or, you know, a shop worker for someone else. I wanted my own thing. I wanted to leave my own legacy, so to speak. And that's what brings us three together, is the fact that we all have the mindset that we wanted to create a change. We wanted to do something different. Again, Rusty, I haven't had the opportunity to delve into that side, but I have with Kody, and I know, you know what I'm saying. But I know that your product is proven, so that's the only reason why I'm bringing this up. But what I'm saying is, it's all 6 degrees of separation, and you got 3 minds right here having a conversation, right, and we got 40 people watching. So that 40 turns into 80. That 80 turns into 360. At the point where we start making a change, you know what I'm saying, and we start having the opportunity that we create the avenue, because right now we're just taking orders, right?
Right.
At any given time, all we're doing is taking orders. What happens in a revolt? The people say, I'm not doing this shit no more.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to revolt as a manufacturer. You don't want to revolt as a manufacturer. I don't want to revolt as a shop owner, builder, slash installer, whatever. But we want the people to be happy. And the only way to make the people happy is to give them something that they can continue to look forward to. I've seen guys that go from a 4-speaker to a 6-speaker to a 10-speaker to heavyweight. I've seen it. Sure. Jay Ford is a perfect example of someone going from nothing to something.
Yeah.
And those are the enthusiasts that you have to keep happy, because these guys are going to spend the money because they're consistently trying to make a point. They're consistently trying to make a name for themselves. And those are the people that you reach out to. Now, if It's not to say that these shows don't have what we're looking for. It's not to say that that these shows don't have what we're looking for, but in the same token, we have to look at what's in the future. We have to look past next year, what's coming up for 26, because 25 is already here.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? So at this point, we're always making changes from November to January. Well, the seasons are a lot longer than that. If you got 8 months to prepare, why not have 8 months to prepare for the following season? That way, Rusty can tool, you can tool, and nobody's in a rush to do this. Manufacturers released the latest model for the years in July, so
Yep.
you could buy a 25 in July. Next year in July, you'll be able to buy a 27 or 26. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So if we're only contemplating what's happening right now, then we're always going to be in last place because we don't know where the fuck we're going.
Right.
Because guess what we do in November? Well, we just got to see when these new rules come out, we need to be planning a year and a half in advance so that you guys can tool for the following year.
Right. Well, but then I'm going to chime in on this.
All right, go ahead.
I know for me, and I know for Rusty, when we make moves, it's not little money, right? So we got to be careful on how we make moves because if we move too much, for an example, I'm going to use it. I got a good friend of mine that tooled up a bunch of low frequency woofers mid bass, right? Because those rules were impactful and impacted for years. Soon as the batch came in, he was ready to roll. A speaker's a speaker. Guess what happened? He's sitting on that
Shelton.
product.
Yes.
Okay. So now what do you do with that? Because we're moving with the rules. Unfortunately, these shows and maybe it's unfortunate, maybe it's not, but I look at it as we got a show promoter that's basically driving the car depending on these guys how they want to move. We got a lot of parking lot customers, a lot.
Right.
And I appreciate every one of them. They still got to be able to ride the bike.
Yes.
They love the bass, but they ain't going to give up the rideability to a point.
Egg-
They don't care about a freeway, but we got to be able to get in and out of a parking lot. I get that. But what this has also got to do is we've got to watch this because what could potentially happen here is the guys that are excited will be pushed away when the rule changes happen so frequently that it's like it's not up to them. They're counting on their painter to get them done. Like they're bought their bags, they're ready to go, dude. They're at paint, and we drop this to where there is a significant difference in the product of what you can do with it. To a guy that knows what he's doing is going to get not double. I don't know what that looks like,
Right.
but a significant result.
Right.
Right.
So let's
What
look
do
at
you
it.
do with that when all you're looking for the platforms to stand on it? If it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. Or leave it alone.
Okay. All
Because
right.
when you leave it alone, it allows me and Rusty and other manufacturers to understand. Because when we tool, I can speak for me, but I haven't done much with the tooling. But when you order parts, all kinds of stuff from overseas, I mean, I understand. Every speaker manufacturer is not made in Arizona or in the United States. Okay, they maybe assemble, but we got to order product from wherever, Brazil. I don't know where it comes
Right.
from, right?
Right.
But there's a 90-day window there waiting on product. So if we order all this, we jump and we tool this, right, and we roll, and then the rule changes again, we're sitting on this product. I've got a bag that was legal for 30 days, and then we changed our mind, or it was legal for a season, and then they go, holy shit, these guys got heavyweight bass out of a featherweight bike. It's not rideable, and the guys that we're trying to get involved in this, because a featherweight class was your entry-level class that is not anymore. And I get it. We're evolving. It's
Right.
okay.
Okay.
Right? We
Okay.
don't want to see the four speaker. I understand all that. But what we need to understand is that there's been rules implemented for a long time to get guys to get skillful and good at it.
Okay.
They spent money on it.
Let me ask you this, Kody.
Go ahead.
Rusty.
Yep.
Are you a football guy?
Hey, man. Listen, I'm from the West Coast, and I'm going to get hated on, but I'm a Raiders fan, bro.
Okay. So bet. So Raiders are what? AFC West, right?
generators are bad. Yeah, where are you going with it?
All I'm saying is you have multiple classes, right? So you got the AFC West, the NFC West, the AFC South, AFC North. All I'm saying is, at some point, we're gonna have to start categorizing these guys, these shows. So just like one of these guys, what Quan says, the Super Bowl of competitions, right? So if we're gonna classify the top 8 or whatever the case is,
Sure.
as the Super Bowl of the motorcycle audio, then we have to start creating these NFC East, NFC West, AFC South. So now when we have all of these different competitors, they come together and we send the best 8 out of those, and then the best 4, and then the best 2, and then you got your Super Bowl champion. You get what I'm saying? Because what that does is it opens up more opportunity for the 4-speaker guys to go up to the 6-speaker. The 6-speaker guys to go up to the 10-speaker. The thing of it is, bro, is we have to start looking beyond right now. Right now, we can't do shit about the right now. Rusty ain't making no money right now because ain't nobody spending no fucking money. Kody, you want to spend money. All the other manufacturers want people to spend money. But the only way to spend money is to continue to keep people interested, not the same 10. At some point, that same 10 is not going to want to, they looking for the new shit. That's why you got all these different manufacturers coming out. The DS18s are competing now. And now let's just be real. DS18 was an internet brand 7 years ago. You can get two for 20.
Yeah.
Now they're in the competition. You know what I'm saying? How long did they have to wait to compete? They didn't. They got their shit together and they came right in. There's no break-in period. You get what I'm saying? There's no training camps. You know, there's no scrimmages. So at the point where you have all of these guys, man, these builders are so fucking innovative, bro. They're so innovative.
Absolutely.
So in order for you guys to make money, you have to keep new people interested in the product. So you're going to continue to make product. There's some shit you're going to leave on the shelf. It's unfortunate, but that's the cost of being in business.
That's how that goes.
Yep.
That's just how it goes. The goal is to not have that much and not be able to say, hey, you know what? I got 10 boxes. I got 10 speakers on the shelf. What am I going to do with them? Let them sit there? No, you're going to discount them just to get recoup some of your money.
That's exactly it, too, man. When that does happen, it's like, okay, hey, I got this new shit over here. It's X amount of money. You ain't got that much. Hey, don't worry about it. I got last year's. I got it for 40% off. Here you go.
Let's eat.
Yeah.
Because that's the ultimate goal, right? That's the ultimate goal, is to eat.
Okay.
Now, if we're not getting our questions answered, and I want to get back to you, Kody, if we're not getting our questions answered, how do we resolve not getting our questions answered?
Man, I don't know.
We revolt. We storm the fucking White House, bro. If you ain't answering my questions, I'm storming the White House.
I get it. Listen, I get it.
And I'm black.
Where I'm going with this is, what are we doing now?
What are we doing now?
With the downfire?
How would you feel if you just, I'm just going to do it. If you just ordered a kit last week, paid me a bunch of money, paid Rusty a bunch of money for the speakers that we could do with it, because we're working with parameters, right? And you're excited, right? Your stuff gets delivered, and all of a sudden, a rule change hits when your parts get to ground. And now now Rusty can drop this big Neo. Now you can do all this stuff. Parts are made to order. So am I supposed to come back and refund his money because he wants to wait for the new stuff that hasn't hit yet, but we just changed the rule?
Hey, you know what you do? You discount it, and you sell it, and you get the shit you want. Because I'm gonna tell you something. You realize the reason why I'm just look. So and Scott is my guy, bro. Scott Owens is my dude, man. Slept with him, slept in the house with him, and Sturgis and shit. Roll with the guy, love the guy to death. When I got a set of Scott's bags, they were already obsolete, and I waited 5 years to change these things out because I didn't want to invest in that kind of. I didn't want to invest in that kind of money. right? So now here I am. I got access to all of these different builders, manufacturers now. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I chose you, Kody, because I actually sat down and talked to you. You know what I'm saying? And let's be real, bro. Like, you made me an offer I couldn't refuse. If one of the other manufacturers had made me an offer I couldn't refuse, maybe I wouldn't be rocking with Voodoo. But I'm telling you that your parts have been proven. Hey man, I want some proven parts. And I like the hips. I like the shape. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than me going to the Dominican Republic and looking for a white woman.
Shit.
Like, why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? Russ, I'm sorry. Russ, I'm sorry, man. This is me. This is me, though, man. You get what I'm saying? No, I want something with some hips. I want some voluptuous. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say anything. I'm just saying this is just how I feel. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay. Yeah.
And your parts are proven, bro. So I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna be in the parking lot, I want some deep bass. This is where I'm going. And I know that even without doing the minimum amount of work, I can make sure, especially with a rusty DC level 99, I can do whatever I need to have done.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, until this year, I didn't have a dog in the fight. So why would I go out here and play with these big dogs when they already spent their money?
Right.
Now I'm spending money. Now I'm saying to the people that's coming from behind me, hey man, look, bro, I'm telling you right now, this shit here is proven, bro. Like, this shit here is cool. This shit is cool. And it's not to say that I don't carry any other manufacturer. I'm saying that Kody made me the best deal. Kody got me what I needed when I needed it. I didn't have to wait on it. I didn't have to do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And Kody invited me over to dinner, bro. Kody invited me to dinner. He said he was having Brussels sprouts and shit. I don't eat Brussels sprouts, so I ain't want to eat that shit. So I made him give me some chicken. So he bought me some chicken. How do you not stay at a dude house that ain't buying you chicken? You know what I'm saying?
I like chicken.
Rusty likes chicken. Shit. All I'm saying is, and I'm joking, but serious at the same time, because I don't want this to be this one of these kind of lies. It's like,
No. I get it.
But at the same time, Kody, I do understand your point. If they're not answering your questions, you have to revolt. You have to do something to get their attention. And if it's a matter of taking your business elsewhere, if it's a matter of doing something else, I'm not staying with nobody that's not doing what I need them to do. It's a bad relationship.
Right.
Who wants to be in a bad relationship? I don't want to wake up and look over and see a Sasquatch, what you call that thing from the land of the lost? You know what I'm saying? And knowing this motherfucker looking at me like I'm an alien, like I'm the ugly one. You know what I'm saying? I know you the ugly one, but she looking at me like I'm the ugly one. No, bro, I gotta go. And if you wake up next to, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah. Don't do that no more, bro. You have to make a decision. You know what I mean? Right. You hold the key, bro. You hold the key, and I understand and I'm not a manufacturer, so I understand that you have to be a little bit more politically correct than I do. You know what I'm saying? Right. I can tell you to kiss my ass and mean it, but you can't do that. So you have to be very tactful. And again, I didn't want this to be one of those things where people felt like you was attacking anybody, because again, Kody, when all this shit went down a couple years ago, man, you sat down not knowing who the fuck I was, and you talked to me, and we got to understand it. And from that day, man, I realized the type of person that you were to me. Yeah. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, I can have these types of conversations. You know what I mean? Sure. And let's try to get a resolve. You know what I mean?
Well, and I guess where I'm at with it is there's a side of this, man, that and Rusty can speak on it too. We've invested a lot in the motorcycle industry, right? We've committed to this. What is your commitment, right? I've committed to what these are. Hey, man, you want to change a rule last year? Fuck it, let's rock with it. You want to change 2 rules next year? I'll rock with you. But now we've told all these people All throughout the years, there's no rule changing, no rule changing, no rule changing. And it got highlighted on the internet yesterday, the day before, I think, too. A guy's like, hey, man, listen, I heard that there was no rule changing. Well, if we allow this, this is a rule change. If you find it a gray area or not, because there's not a bag that's ever been 12 and a half inches wide in the center and 9 1/4 in the back, or 10 and whatever it may be. That's not ever been there. Okay, so he pushed the lines. The gray area is fine, but if anywhere else, it would not be in this situation. I guess you'd say legal, because there has been rules enforced.
Right.
And I just need to know, are we enforcing them or not, so I can tell my customers what they're up against or not. This is what I offer. We got proven parts. We've been doing it forever. You can ride them. You get in the parking lot. Now you want to step up. You want to get in this downfire game. You want to get in this 12-inch wide bag game. You are not going to call me and say I couldn't lean my bike, because I told you you can't.
All right, let me ask you a
I
question.
need to know which direction to go, or I'm just going to go. That's
Because,
it.
because let me ask you a question, right?
What's that?
Are you in opposition of a shop class?
They've tried it. I don't see that. But let's, okay. Extreme's a shop class. Show me an
Oh,
extreme bike that's
oh,
not an owner of a shop class.
okay, so boom. Now you got the downfire
Yep.
available for shop class. Because I really believe that if you're a
Yep.
shop owner, you should not be competing with customers, in my honest
Period.
opinion.
Period.
But aside from that, Rusty, Ed Rock want to know if you can make a DC level 6 shallow neo sub. And I'll let you marinate on that. But for me, I think that there should be a specific class designed for the builder. And if you are a builder, you shouldn't be allowed to run your customers' bikes. You should teach them how to run it. You know what I'm saying? Again, you and I have had this conversation before. A lot of people listen to music, but they don't know how to play music. And
Right.
that's where Rusty has to sell all these goddamn rebuild kits, because they only know how to listen to it. They don't know how to play it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We get it. I mean, and my thing here is this, like I said before, this was not an attacking live. This was just an informational that they could get. Rusty doesn't get on the phone very often. I was
Right.
able to pull him out and get after it and be a part of this. I'm super grateful for it, because he can give you the ins and out. If there is technical behind this, he explained to you that there is an advantage of it. It's just never been allowed because of the width of the bag. So we haven't went that direction. It's not new. It's definitely not a new technology. It's been around since the 70s. Bose jumped out there. We've all known. And where I'm with it is I'm okay with whatever direction that we go with it. It's just we're at a crossroads right now. And if this is what we're doing, we either do it or we don't.
Right.
And then we got to look at it, does it make sense? Right? That's the other side of it. Does it make sense for me to retool all of these? I enjoy this shit and I can do it.
Right.
I've committed to this industry. We can tool up. I mean, we already got that dual 10 bag ready to go.
Right.
Okay, that Infinity 9 1/4, I'm ready to go. Okay.
Right. So how
But
do you
now I
produce
got,
that for a rider, though?
what's that?
How do you produce it for a rider?
You can't
You say you can't?
produce it for a rider.
Yeah.
How can you do that when the
Because
bottom of the bag?
hey, Rusty got a 6.5-inch speaker. He been dying to release.
Hey,
Yeah, well,
I got one. I got pallets of them sitting there, man.
Yeah, see?
And,
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I'm not so
if he
again.
comes out with
I'm
that
not
six
saying
and a
that
half
it can't be
downfires,
done.
I got one ready to go.
Yeah. So, and that's what I'm
That's
saying.
where I'm going with this is that
Right.
it's going. There's a positive side of this for the speaker manufacturers, that they can actually, we can put their speakers in an environment that it's truly designed for, right?
Right.
And to where the other side of this is that the magnets aren't up against the wall anymore, so they're not going to heat up like they did.
Man.
There's a lot of this that you don't have surrounds hitting things in there. People having to buy new surrounds. I mean, there's a lot of things that are great about this, except for the fact that all the people of the rules have always followed it. Now, if we don't have rules, we don't have rules. That's fine. It's going to change the game. We can do a downfire 6-inch. We can do a downfire 8-inch. We can do all that. But even at a downfire 6-inch, with the rings around it, the basket's over 8 inches, you're still going to widen the bottom of the bag to get it to recess up in there, at least to a 10-inch bag. And so, and where I'm at with that at the bottom, that's fine.
Right. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just looking at some of these comments, and Zane is
Yeah.
crazy as hell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Zane said this looks like a reverse Oreo cookie, bro. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? I'm just on
yeah,
the, I'm
yeah,
on here. I'm on here so I don't get fined, right?
yeah. Fucking Zane. God
Yeah,
damn.
but
Right.
at the same time, we do have to find a way to create a
Address
path.
it.
Exactly, and
Right.
if we're only petitioning to the commissioner as opposed to the owner of the teams, if the owner of the teams ain't complaining, the commissioner's not going to make any changes. You get what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
Jerry Jones had it all together until he was a proponent for the salary cap.
Right.
I mean, so now is that where we at the salary cap now? If you have a maximum that you can spend. If you spent $40,000 or more, you can't even compete in a 6 speaker class. If you can spend, you know what I mean. Now we have to start getting into a whole different category in order to keep things interesting. And this is all I'm
Right.
saying, bro. We gotta at some point the rules are going to continue to change because you guys as manufacturers are going to want to release new product. Again, Rusty, I'm sure you got a level 4 that's just been selling off the shelf. But
Number
what?
one speaker bike game for me is a level 4.
So why not be inventive and say, you know what? I'm going to create a level 6. This level 6 is going to make that level 4 sound like a piece some headphones or something, right?
Yeah, I
But
did. That's what the RS subwoofer is.
But without that innovation, you can't sell the RS to. You may only be able to produce 20 for the motorcycle industry. How do we take 20 and multiply that by 20 so that Rusty can sell more of the RSs? You gotta figure out a way to change the rules because it's not just about one manufacturer. It's about everybody that's involved in the industry. It's an industry now.
Yeah,
Right.
Every bro.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. So you got builders that wants to build these outlandish bikes for customers and they can't because their hands are tied. If I can sell a customer $1,000 subwoofer as opposed to a $40 subwoofer because my markup is great because Rusty ain't you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, we
How-
turn the profit.
How do this is what we need to be, and it's unfortunate that there are going to be people that's going to be priced out of this particular class. But again, the D leagues don't get paid what the NFL players get paid.
Right.
Yep.
It just doesn't happen that way, and we gotta stop. We gotta take away the participation ribbons and shit. You know what I mean? It costs this shit costs money.
Yeah.
And because this shit costs money, we're in the business of making money. We're consistently trying to turn over a profit, but we can't because we keep selling the same shit. And now we got people that says, well, I don't want that because he got that. I don't want that because they running it. Everybody's running this, and I want to do something different.
I run into that.
If you produce something different, and it may only be, you may only have 5. You may only have to produce 5. But you have a tool just in case somebody else sees that down the line and like, how did you get into this? Man, I bought this kit right here and it helped me out a lot. These YouTube University people, bro.
Yeah.
These are YouTube University graduates. Man, say. All I'm saying is, bro, is if Rusty sells you a set of speakers and you run through the whole season and those speakers held up, and you go back to Rusty, hey, Rusty, man, these speakers was good as hell. Rusty gonna say, hey, man, look, I tell you what. You did that, man. Let's sell these. I'm gonna give you these to run for the new year. And let's see how these go.
Yep.
It's and I don't want to get into the whole behind the scenes type of shit, but these are just ideas and thoughts.
Sure.
Kody, what you did for me, bro, hey, man, this is why we on this screen, bro, because you got something to say. I want to make sure you get your point across. You get what I'm saying?
Well, and it's just my point is I see your side of it 100%, and then we've got the customers that call and go, dude, what are we going to do about this? What are we going to? I don't know what we're going to do about this. I'm trying to get some answers. Do I feel, in the big scheme of things, I'm going to go a different angle with you. Do I feel that one bike should change the rules for every class? No. Do I feel that when we keep making this stuff bigger and bigger and bigger, does it take the creativity and the skill level out of it? Yes. Because we started with a little tiny bag and we got rusty trying to design some speakers and small airspace, everybody getting creative, everybody getting skillful, using your hands. That's what separates you from the car guy at the bodega down the street selling, the boxes, right? But when we get to the point to where at 14 inches wide or 12 inches wide, we're putting speaker boxes on bikes now. We're taking the creativity out of it, the rideability out of it. You made a comment earlier that made sense to me. You're like, well, we're selling 20. How do we sell 40? Well, in a car world, we run a sale. In the motorcycle world, we got to go get the guy that likes to ride his motorcycle and
Right?
have him look at that thing and say, hey, man, you can still ride your motorcycle. We've designed a speaker that works in a small enclosure that has huge bass to get you to get bit by the audio bug. But there's a rule involved to get them to get bit. Right? So now once we start getting them to go up the line of how they get bit by the audio bug and all this, you're going to need this, you're going to need that, guy starts paying money. Gets excited, orders his parts, orders this, orders that. Well, he orders his all excited, then rule change. Man, I thought I had the best. Man, I'm sorry, man. Fuck it, I don't want this no more. So what happens? That new guy that we were trying to get excited doesn't want the audio no more. He goes, buys him a performance bagger, moves on.
Hey,
I
guess
hear you
what?
on your point of view
Hey,
because it don't matter. To us selling parts, that's
but
the last thing we want to happen.
it matters. It matters from the standpoint of now what you've done is you've come between the customer and the shop. See, a lot of the conversation that you're having, you should be having with shop owners, not the customers.
Sure.
Your shop owners should be your customers. And honestly speaking, now,
Right.
Now, do you shut your website down because a customer wants to contact you directly? Fuck no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying some of the conversations that you're having, it should be more from a shop owner. Hey,
I guess where I didn't clarify, but most of our, let's say 80% of our business is shop owners.
Right.
So then when I say a customer, I should have clarified.
Right.
These are dealers.
right,
These
right.
are guys that have spent. I mean, I'll clarify that. One of the dealers spent $60,000 with me this year just to order the kit for his customer. Was all excited, and he's fucking on fire.
Right.
The guy just spent money, all the subs, got rusty subs, got this, got that, all this stuff. The bike's coming out of paint on Thursday of next week.
And guess who you petition to? The commissioner.
I hear you.
So again, if the people revolt, we going to the White House, baby. We going to the White House.
That's where we're at.
Hey, and all you got to do is look back and say, who coming with me? Who coming with me?
Listen, Rusty won't fly, but one day we'll force him to fly. You're going to bring us your private plane. We're going to get on your private plane, and then we're going to go to the table.
Oh, look, I just name drop with the private plane, man. I don't own one of them goddamn things, man.
Well, call it. All right, call it.
You got drink cards?
Hey, man, look, all I'm saying is there's an opportunity for everybody, but we have to figure out a way. That it continues to flow. Right now, man, everybody's at a standstill at the end of the year because nobody knows what the rules are, right? And even when they make changes, and again, I'm referencing what we do into sports because we got people all over the country, West Coast, up north, down south, Midwest. So if I'm a Texas boy, right? So I love the deep quad bass, right? That trunk, rah, that's what I like. But if my bike sounds like a trunk, I'm gonna get disqualified. But that's what I'm used to. My customers say if it ain't rattling, it ain't loud enough. But in the competition,
Hey, out west, if that bag latch wasn't moving within 6x9s, you ain't slapping.
bro, you ain't slapping. So now we have to figure out a way to calm all this down. Now we have to figure out a way to suppress all of this noise. But I'm telling you, there's still people out there that want the trunk rattle. There's still people out there that and all we're doing is providing a space for them to enjoy the trunk. They got a whole movement now with they call trunk wars. And all you doing is turn your car up, breaking your back glass, and it's loud and obnoxious. But it won't fly in our industry. So because Rusty's on both sides of the spectrum, these are the people that we have to be mindful of. Not just the bag manufacturers, not just the little mom and pop shops, but there are people out here, man, that really want to be involved. And we're not even introducing this to the new people. We're saying, hey, man, you can come spend your money, and then we just throw them out to the wolves. We're not teaching them how to play the music. We're not teaching them how to listen to it. We're not teaching them how to, do anything that comes with what I buy from Rusty, what I buy from Voodoo. We're not teaching the guys how to create this whole thing so that they're enjoying themselves. Because what happens when a new guy comes in, he done spent $60,000 and he gets out there and he gets rolled over. Now you done convinced him to spend 30 more thousand. Now he's 90 in, and now you done convinced him to spend 20 more because he's never gonna have enough because he's always behind. But if we teach these people coming up, you got a set of CVO bags, man, that you could throw on your bike. You ain't got to change your rear fender. You can keep your stock exhaust. We can get with Rusty. He gonna be at your 10. That motherfucker this gonna make your wife want to ride. You get what I'm saying? So, but we're not putting the right shit out there, man, so that people are interested. I got a little sound competition tomorrow that, if we get 10 or 15 bikes, that'll be great. If we get 4, that's a bonus.
Right.
But we are not offering these guys nothing to keep them interested in the sport. Because after every show, there's controversy. Yeah. So in order to eliminate the controversy, you got the NFC East, the NFC South, the AFC North, and then you got those groups. And once the winner of their group, they come out. And this is how you determine. You're not relying on one person to decide who got the best in the country.
Right. I got you.
You get what I'm saying? It's done by committee. Because at this point, man, we need a committee. Unfortunately. You get what I'm saying?
I've heard through the grapevine that there's one being made. I don't know if it's true or not. I hope so.
Yeah. But from a manufacturer standpoint, from a speaker builder standpoint, these are your committee guys.
Yeah.
Rusty might not be willing to spend another 40,000 retooling to make a shallow mount 10, 12, 15. Rusty, is that even possible to have a shallow mount 15?
Listen, for the right amount of money, I'll build you anything you want.
There you go. Hey, this shit costs money. Somebody just told me that.
That shit costs money. So y'all heard it from Rusty. Rusty will build you a shallow mount 15.
Anything you want. Turn them pockets inside out.
But therein lies what we need to have happen. Anybody that's in the industry. I know that one year in Atlanta this year they did a parking lot pimping class, and they had 2 of the guys that are known for parking lot pimping be judges for that. Yeah. At some point, you're gonna have to reach out to people across this country, relinquish some of the responsibility that you have to make decisions, and put that back into people's hands, so that Kody's happy, both of the Scott's happy, Eric from, because now you're talking about manufacturers that are building things for customers to enjoy. But why not get them interested in what they spent their money on anyway? You already spent the money. Yeah. There's a show available in every state that has those bikes that ride the big wheels and the fat tires, and you know what I mean? So we are still trying to reach the minority class, bro, and we instead of looking at the majority. Harley,
Right.
if Harley sells 100,000 motorcycles a year, you should be able to at least put music on 60,000 of them.
But
If
no,
I
you
got
got a potential
1%,
100,000
I'll be
customers.
But no, you got a potential 100,000. See, Rusty, this is why we get along. This is why we get along right now. Cause you see it,
Yeah.
But and this is speaking from a shop standpoint, right? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we all got ideas, but who's going to implement them? All right,
Right.
but we have to put it back into people's hands at some point, because those are the ones that's paying my bills, that's paying your bills, that's paying your bills.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
So
exactly. What do the people want to do with this?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a great idea. What do the people want to do with this?
yeah, it's got to go back to the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as a manufacturer of parts and speakers, all I do is sit back and do this. Oh, I wonder what they got for sale this week. So that when my customer comes in and say, "Hey, man, I've been looking for, you know what? Fuck that. So and so got a sale right now, bro. If you act right now, I can get you X, Y, Z. But wait, there's more, because now I done called them. They're gonna throw in X, Y, Z. You know, and they're offering free shipping right now. I don't know what the deal is, but I know right now Kody's offering 20% off for Black Friday, and that sale goes to them through Cyber Monday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So boom. But these are the things that the people need to see. They need to see that we're working for them, but they're paying us to work for them.
Sure.
Because if we're not making money, we're not calling Rusty. We're not calling Voodoo. You know what I mean?
No.
And don't even have the internet anymore if he's not making money.
God damn, we know you done dropped your phone call a couple of times, so we know you skating on thin ice, Rusty. We know you skating on thin ice right now, man.
Right.
But
I guess. So the moral of the story is we need answers. Are we going to allow a 12-inch wide bag in the center and featherweight and down? Are we going to allow what are we going to allow to let the people make a choice on what they want to do? Because it all goes back to the people. Without the people, we got nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You know.
We need them.
I mean, and that's where we're at with it. Do we let? I mean, is who influences on what? Like, yeah, everybody plays a part in this, but who is the real influence?
Mm-hmm.
The people.
Period.
Right.
No different than Ford, Chevy, Dodge. Everybody has their own brand. And a lot of people don't even realize that Dodge is a direct descendant of Ford, because they got tired of Ford. They said that he didn't know how to do business. So they created Dodge.
I didn't know that.
No. That's why when they say FORD, fucked over rebuilt Dodge, because Dodge was the guys that built Dodge was the actual manufacturers of Ford, but they didn't like the way Ford did business, so they created that. No different than black saving Cadillac back in 1932. A lot of people don't know that. Blacks saved Cadillac. So who's going to save Voodoo? Who's going to save DC Audio? The customers.
Right.
The customers. The people.
We got to give it back to the people. Yes.
Yeah.
So
tell them what they want.
And a lot of now there's a thin line, because sometimes people want to be told what to do. Right?
They do, especially, that people walk into a shop and be like, man, I've seen this on the internet. I want to get involved, or I went to a show. I want to get involved. I need you to tell me.
Yes.
How do I do this?
Yes. And so what do we do as shop owners? We're going to take them to this big ass wall where we got Pioneer, Sony, Alpine, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And we're going to coerce them into spending the most money that makes us money. Because I'm not for to sell you a radio that costs you $100 but only make 10 on it. I'm going to sell you a radio that's going to cost you $100 that I make $50 on.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if we are trying to maneuver through this industry, we have to create a platform that allows the customer to continue to grow with the platform.
Absolutely. We just need to know what that platform looks like.
Well, hey, look, we just brainstorming. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, man.
I got a bald head because I'm not smart.
Right. I can tell you,
the show people to come out and finally say, okay, we are going to allow this, or no, we're not going to allow. How do we get them to put their foot down and make a decision so we know how to move?
Okay, so that's when you start having these off-season meetings, so to speak, right? So, Rusty, you got a new speaker coming out in January. You need to be trying to talk to us in October. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna have a Skype, hey man, look, we got a public forum coming in. This is the whole reason why we got social media right now. The whole reason why we got the internet. And again, if we're not using this as a tool, then we're using it to be a fool, right? So if Rusty is having a meeting that everybody's available for, now we got ammunition coming up. Like, hey man, I know you want this sub right here, but Rusty got something new coming out, and I get this is on the shelf, and we're trying to move the product that we have on the shelf. But at that perspective, Rusty's gonna have to say, "Hey man, look, I know you just spent $6,000 with me, and I know that I want this new product. Hey, sell this. We'll gap it, and then so we can get the new product out. Because believe it or not, somebody wants that old shit, like you said a while ago. Yep. Somebody wants that old. I got a shop full of broken sound digital amps that's got 2 channels out, 1 channel. I'm gonna garage sell the shit out of them. Somebody wants them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So as long as we're putting product out that customers want, Kody, you'll be happy. Rusty will be happy. The customer's gonna be happy. Because guess what? Kody showed me something that was damaged. Okay, well, as opposed to Kody fixing that, hey, Kody, send that to me. Let me fix it. We'll discount it. Boom, boom, boom. Or we'll just sell it to the customer outright.
Yeah.
You know, at some point we gotta say that I work for the customer and the customer's paying me to work for them.
Yeah.
Period.
Absolutely. Yeah, I get
That's
it.
how it is.
So
I get it.
now,
Well, my thing is here is hopefully we can, unfortunately, I get a lot of the customers, the dealers, whatever. Like I told you, you can call them what you want here, but they're like, "What do you think we should do? What do you think we should do? I'm looking for this sound. I want to be able to compete in this class." We get a lot of people that they want, believe it or not, do like to compete. We get a lot of phone calls, and I have to be able to direct them in the right direction.
okay, so
And
Brock Booker says at Sound Wars they put it back in the people's hands, and then Nick Henry says maybe do the lower classes by airspace, and I'm like, how do you calculate airspace?
how do you do that?
You know what I mean? And the thing about that is that we get into all of these type of sub conversations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A platform has to be put in place, right? Now you have Sound Wars, you have SOS, and you got a couple of other shows that they allow specific things. And until those shows say, "Hey, look, man, we're gonna get all on the same accord," because are the same people winning in these shows? Do we have a list of judges that if you judge the SOS in Atlanta, you judge a Sound Wars in the Midwest? You don't get the, you know what I mean? Just like a referee. We got a committee of referees that if you get more people involved, and again, this is all brainstorming. But if you get more people,
it's all about getting people involved. But here's the big hurdle. You ready?
all right. Yep.
What's the commitment? Who's committed to it? Because you got to commit to this time.
Yes.
Right? Just like we put the time in, you put the time in at your shop. I put the time in digging over here. Rusty's building speaker. Like, what are we committed to give it back to the people? And that's what I'm looking for. It's like the only way to really solve this thing is to really say yes, 9 1/4 at the back. Get it on. Sorry, guys, we chose to do that. Like it, love it, hate it. We don't care. Okay, fine. Or you go back to, and you can use me. I don't care. But the 9 1/4 rule was, I'm grandfathered in this thing from day one. I've been here since the beginning. That's the standard. We allow a 1/2 inch in the front of it, depending on paint, sanding, whatever. That's your middleweight bag. And down. Your heavyweight bag has been 10 1/4. This is what you allow, 1/2 inch of that. If you go over that, you in extreme. There's only 2 ways to handle this so we can give the people what they want.
So anything over 9 1/4, or 10?
It's heavyweight.
Okay. So anything over heavyweight is 10 and a half, right?
Yep. 10
Okay.
and a half.
So anything over 10 and a half is extreme.
Extreme. Yeah.
Okay. So
it was. Yeah.
all right. So so in order to keep your consumers competitive, anything over 10 and a half is shop class.
Yep.
You got to have a shop class at some point, because if you got a shop class, that puts you, Kody, in a position to create a platform to sell a bag for your shops to compete against each other, because ultimately that's what they're doing in the ring. They're competing so that when a customer sees that he's got your bag and Rusty speakers, they're going to go for your bag and Rusty speakers, right?
Because they just saw him do it. Yeah.
They just saw him do it. And that's the ultimate goal. Now, you do have those that don't get any business, and they just go out like having fun. They don't want to answer no questions. They just want to play their bike.
Yeah.
The parking lot guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not, a shop owner is really not getting on his bike and riding 100 miles a week.
No.
You get what I'm saying? The shop bike is going to sit in the shop. It's going to give his customers something to listen to when they walk in to impress them. And that's all we're doing, is impressing these guys to spend money. You know what I mean? And I'm going to continue to stand on that. I haven't competed. I competed in Galveston this year, but I don't make it a point to compete because that's not where my money is. Right. But I've been in business for 6 years without competing. Yeah. But what happens when I spend this money and I get the Rusty subs and I get the Voodoo bags? You know, people are going to be like, man, I got to have that.
Right. But you got to be able to tell them what they can do with it.
Period.
And that's all I'm looking for. Because we've always followed whatever this lead is of this industry, right? Show promoters or rules or judges or whatever we followed, right? Mm-hmm. And it comes to the point to where we're told no rule changes are being made. And then every platform's changing their rules.
Right.
How is the inconsistency going to work with the people?
Because the people have to say, we want a playoff system.
Yeah.
The people have to say, hey, man, everybody's got a show every Friday and Saturday, right? Yeah. In an industry where you have people traveling. So, like Ron Nutt says, he likes having a district playoff to make the big game at the end of the year. Each area sends their best. Okay, cool. Now everything is gone regional. So I don't have to concern about being better than somebody on the East Coast. I got to be better than somebody in my own town or my own district or whatever. Now I get to take that to a playoff. Okay, the first playoff is in the Midwest. The Midwest decides who goes down south or, out east or whatever. Now, you guys, we have structure that says, hey, look, man, I may not be the best on the East Coast, but I'm the best in mine, and I'm going to take everything that I got. And at this point, we rally around that person that won and say, hey, what do you need help with? How do we get you to the next level? Because what you're doing is you're bringing that back to our region. You're bringing that back to our district. If we're going to create the competition, let's create the competition across the board so that we're not sitting around and the same people having the same fucking conversations after every show.
I know.
Rusty tired of selling rebuild kits.
Yep. I get it.
I tell you, you should do it, man.
I get it. And I guess where I'm at with this, we got to get a direction of where we're going with this, how we're going to do it, and let it be. I'm okay with whatever it's going to be.
Right.
The customers, they may feel differently about it. They've competed. They're competitive. They followed the rules. And then, one bike changes the rules again. They've got to spend a bunch more. Who knows what that outlook's going to look like? But we need to know, because we're in rebuild season.
Right.
People are ordering speakers. People are trying to order bags. People are trying to, because March is going to be here before we know it.
Yes.
And so it is.
Period.
And so we can't be, as much as I don't know. I don't have a say. We can't be doing stuff like this.
All right, let me ask you guys a question. Right. Let me ask you guys, both of you guys, a question, right? And this is an open-ended question because you guys are on the manufacturer side.
Yes.
the money that you spend on advertising for these shows, right? Whatever support you guys offer these shows. If y'all took that money out of those shows and gave it to and put it to someone that's interested in competing, right? So I'm saying that if it's $1,000 in advertising, you take that $1,000, you put it to a customer that's going to compete in a 4, 6, 8, 10 heavyweight or wherever the case is, right? Now what you've done is that you've given someone something to look forward to, and they're going to market your product. They're going to be talking about your product throughout. Now, let's say you give them some shit, right? The product is shit. Every time you turn around, there's something going on. Then that sours your name. But I'll be honest with you when I say to you that I've seen these competitions and I've seen the type of equipment that's out here. And as long as you guys are continuing to allow new manufacturers to come in, that's going to further slide you guys back unless your product is winning. And the only way to get your product winning, and in the words of Keith Barker, you get your team together. Half of us don't even have a team. You don't even. How do I represent for Rusty if I've never owned one of his speakers? Cool guy, man. Fucking Rusty's a great guy, but I don't run none of his shit because I don't really know the guy.
Well, I mean, I guess you used the statement that I don't trigger something for me, but check this out. Eddie Hamilton had 6 or 7 bikes at the top 8. That's a hell of a fucking team.
Yes.
Not one. I mean, the Audio Concepts, like it, love it or not, that motherfucker's got a team. And they've had a team for years. Okay? Who else has got a team? I mean, we talk about teams, but where do the teams go? What do the teams do for you if they're promoting on themselves just winning?
Right.
Because now I'm going to talk like a manufacturer, right? We're here we want our product promoted.
Right.
Right? And if our product is promoted, we're all rocking. If our product is used to win and not promoted, everybody's got to win. You see where I'm going with this? Like if we're not promoted and equally, and the win, everybody's got to win together, and that's what this is all going back down to. One bike getting, a light put on it. It didn't win the show. He had to downsize the speakers, or down to 3 speakers, 4 speakers, down to 4, 10, 16, whatever it was. Right? They got it done. They got to play. The enclosure itself found a gray area. I've never seen a gray area like that because nobody's ever, I'm going to use it, tried to cheat. Everybody's took a production bag, did their sauce to it, and went and fought. They stayed in their bracket. If they're featherweight, they might have just used up a little bit, but they went in there and fought with it. So now we got a guy that decided.
Hold on. Because I want to, since we're going to touch on it, let's touch on it. Now, the people that competed against that bike that had an issue.
Sure.
Did everybody agree to it?
Agree to what?
To him playing the bike.
After he's,
I mean, after he made his changes. So, okay, so look.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So now, it's as simple as that. If it flew, let it fly.
That's it.
If a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass when he hopped. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So
that's what we're looking for here. Because it got to play, me and Rusty are like, is it game on? We ready to play? We just need to know. Because how this does work is that everybody follows each other at some point.
Yeah.
So we just need to know, is it a go?
I would say this. I would say this in all actuality. Kody, you need to be at the forefront of some of these lives with some of these manufacturers, some of these customers, and literally build you a team of people that share your intimate. You know what I'm saying? Again, we talking about Rusty being able to build speakers that allow the customer to express himself. You know what I'm saying? So if I pull up in the parking lot or if I pull up in the ring and I got this, I got one of Rusty's badass 6.5s. Now I can tell a motherfucker like, man, you can't, ain't shit you can do with me.
Yeah.
But if I don't know how to play what you and Rusty have provided for me, then why am I even doing this? Because the same bike that's in question didn't win its particular class, but maybe it would have won a class if it was in a class of its own. You get what I'm saying? So if we're going to put everything into question, we got to put the whole industry into question. Because basically, bro, we're all people that's just sitting around saying, I'm gonna go do this, and this is gonna be here's the rules, this is what we're gonna do, and boom, boom, boom.
That's it.
But we're not, like, I'm on the motorcycle set. Like I'm a actual biker. So there's certain criteria that if we want to add something to it, we don't delete the old shit. We add to it and say, well, this was okay, but this is the new way of doing this.
Yeah.
So now we have to get back out to the people and say, hey, look, we're thinking about doing XYZ. What do you guys think about this?
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's all we got left to do, man. I mean, that's really what we got left to do. We could sit here and look at all the different angles of it, but it's like, do we go back to the people, or do we look at the people that are evolving and going, okay, guys, it's an option. I don't know where it's going to be allowed at, but Rusty's been making speakers for the smaller stuff because this wasn't an option. Well, now this is an option, dude. He's got all kinds of stuff that will really work without the modification. So it's a win and a lose, but we just need to know if we're winning or we're losing, and we need to be able to move forward. Because I guess where I'm really at is it does bum me out that I got guys out there that are saying, dude, I'm coming out of paint next week, bro. Damn. They told us there was no rule changes this year. I ain't the man. I'm just the messenger.
So, but again, it doesn't have to be a rule change. It just has to be an adjustment. We're adding another class. We're gonna move the smaller bikes to Friday night, and we're gonna add another class, a shop class. And how many shops are gonna actually build a bike to compete in a specific class? Right, because now you have a customer that's got fuck you money, that may want to compete in a shop class. But if you're spending fuck you money, then you can compete up there.
Go ahead.
But leave the heavyweights and the, you know what I'm saying, to those guys, because again, I'm going to bring Jay Ford in because he modified his bags and he couldn't compete in the middleweight. They made him move up a class. So then he calls Voodoo, hey man, I need a set of fuck you bags.
Yeah.
And he went and did his little thing to him.
Yeah.
And now he's competing in that heavyweight class. But guess what? If Kody had a set of down firing bags for him, now he's a shop owner. He can compete in the class, and if it's available, then if he's the only one that's competing, it's a guarantee. So all I'm saying is a six and one and half a dozen in the next. Who do you adjust? Who do you adjust for?
Right. I mean, I guess that's just really where it's at. Do you do it or do you don't? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Do we do it or do we not?
Yeah. But because you have to.
There's going to be a place for it somewhere. This is evolving. I mean, Sound Wars already said it's just at the back. Ricky said it's at the back, but we don't know if the sides or the down firing is confirmed. I mean, I don't know how you don't one or the other, but it's going to happen somewhere anyway. So either we evolve or we don't. That's it.
We have to evolve, bro. We're an evolving people. Yo, we used to walk on our knuckles. I don't drag my knuckles no more. Russell, you drag your knuckles?
My knuckles are good, bro.
See what I'm saying? Ain't no way you can build speakers if you're dragging your knuckles. So we're consistently evolving, bro. The mind is not designed to lay stagnant. The body should not be stagnant. So if the body and the mind can't be stagnant, why is the audio industry consistently wanting to be stagnant? No, we have to continue to evolve. We got to continue to move forward. That's how you get return customers. We're not making money if we're not selling product. And you guys are in the business of selling product. I'm in the business of moving your product, and that's exactly where I want to be in the new year and for years to come. So, with that being
that's
said,
how you turn your customers today into customers tomorrow. Show them something new.
Yes.
Well, I mean, there's an old saying out there. A good buddy of mine says, "Your best customer's not here yet." I don't know if that's true or not, but you won't know unless you get him, right?
Period. And look, and I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. You know, we could sit up and jaw jack all day, and in all honesty, you know, these are the type of conversations that has to be had often. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of these conversations are being had in the back rooms, right? But we have to bring these conversations out to the forefront because nobody knows. You know, so you have to have different people coming on. You have to have, you know, different perspectives and different point of views in order for us to figure out how we need to take this industry. How do we make the industry grow? I can tell you that these guys that are doing these shows sat in the house and say, man, you know what? I got a lot of guys that want to compete, and we'll just make some more bullshit trophies and we'll give them away, and that's going to make them happy. But now we're getting into the point where we're having more people interested. Bro, every bike club that has an annual wants to have a sound competition. Everywhere. And there's a lot of motorcycle clubs in the stuff that I'm involved in and would love to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we have to give them direction. And I'm going to give you guys a point to make, you know what I'm saying? Because we've been on here for 2 hours. And I mean, I ain't got shit to do because it's Friday. But I don't want to keep you guys. I know Rusty need to get back to cleaning his blinds and shit. Maybe to get a signal to the house. But
I gotta call Starlink, man. I gotta get the blinds cleaned. You know, I got some Black Friday ads I gotta run.
Yeah. What you got going on sale, man? Let the people know why you on.
Yeah, I'll tell you now. So everything I have is 20% off right now, and it's going to be that way all the way through Cyber Monday. So anything you want is 20% off. And we even have, you know how we were talking about, like, you know, last year's kind of stuff, things like that? I even got a page on the website, man, where everything's already extremely discounted because it's either old stuff or stuff that one of the builders scratched or some shit like that. That stuff is already heavily discounted. And because I'm too lazy to go in there and make any adjustments, that stuff's even 20% off. So there's some stuff in there I actually lose money on. But I don't care. Get it off my shelf. Somebody enjoy it.
Y'all heard that. That's from Rusty himself. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Cody, what you got?
Well, we're doing we got the big Black Friday sale going on, 20% off. Call the shop on through Monday. I'm going to leave it at this. Like, I appreciate everybody getting on. Rusty, I know you got a lot going on. Thanks again for talking to the people.
Thanks for having me.
An angle to where they could understand that this is a big movement to the audio world. There's no doubt about it, because it's allowing a whole different. I mean, dude, we're breathing. I mean, there's no requirements anymore in the sub world, and it changes everything. The bag width is changing. I mean, let's face it, it's a big change to a guy that's competing. Okay,
yes,
he's got a big obstacle against him. If I pull in the ring with a downfire bag, that's done correctly, it's a big obstacle. Okay, I'm cool with it. I'm excited about it. I've always liked evolving, as you can tell. I've got hundreds of parts that we make all kinds of stuff. We make something for everyone. Okay, that's not my problem here. My goal is that the people understand what we're doing here, and the whole purpose of this live was for the people to hear and talk to the guys and being able to understand where this is going. You know what I mean?
Right. So with that being said, like I say, man, there's a lot of changes that we can make. But I want to touch on this real quick, and I'll let you guys burn up out of here. Let me get back to Brock. Brock said you don't grow unless there is creativity. With creativity comes a push to grow. I think that KB kind of set a standard that we need to be trying to manufacture some shit that's going to entertain the people. These shows are getting boring as shit, and people are falling asleep at them because it's the same humdrum opera, R&B, slow down music shit, bro. Again, you and I talked before
Yeah.
when the audio shit first jumped off. Everybody was EDM this and EDM that. But if these guys are going to go into this ring, we're going to have to teach them how to play this music. We're going to have to teach them that the right equipment will allow you to be in positions to win. And that's what you guys are here for. You guys are putting people in a position to win in every class based off of your product, Rusty, and your product, Kody. And again, I appreciate you guys for allowing me to talk to you guys because, hey, man, what do I know? I'm just an old square ass dude from Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
with a 6.5-inch speaker.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. We'll figure out how to get through all this, man. You guys have a great weekend.
Yeah, you guys do the same, man. I hope you had a really good Thanksgiving and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
That's it. See you guys.
Later.
See you guys.